if it looks like we've just fallen into a Christopher Nolan film, that's because we kind of have. So we're actually at Svinasfelljokull Glacier, which happens to be one of the locations which they used for the film Interstella.
It's also where they filmed some of North of the Wall in Game of Thrones. But that's not the reason that we came here.
No.
We were driving along the south coast and we were looking out for which was the prettiest glacier, which was the most photogenic. And we chose this one without knowing its name, looked it up on the map afterwards, looked it up generally and found its film heritage. So a happy coincidence, rather than coming here specifically for the film.
Yep. But one of the things that you really wanted to photograph whilst we were here in Iceland was a glacier, wasn't it? So.
Absolutely, yes. I like the clean lines of snow and ice. So I want to, the plan is to get as high up as we can along this path, which is really precipitous. So without endangering life too much. Trying to get as high as we can and isolate in the photograph some mountain peaks and glacier. So I really like the top of the glacier, where you've got a dusting of snow over the glacier. So you've got a blue and a white together, which I find really attractive. You've also got a large bit of rock dividing two bits of glacier, which I also find very attractive, and there's snow on that too. What I don't really want to get in the shot is just how much other stuff is going on. So you probably can see it actually from where you are, but the bit of glacier behind me is a lovely blue, but it's got a lot of black mixed in from the rock around, and the mountain behind has got a lot of green on it, and I just find all of that together too jarring. So what I have done is I'm using the telephoto lens to isolate the bits with the snow dusting over it. Having tried editing this photo, I am not particularly happy with it. Sam's approach worked better, which was to include the colours that I found jarring, but convert the image to black and white.
It's our last night in Iceland, and we're spending our last night staying here near a place called Vík. And down here at Vík, we've got this headland which has got a name which we're not even going to attempt to pronounce. But at the end of the headland, we've got these famous sea stacks which are featured in an awful lot of photographs. So we popped down here to see what we can get photography-wise. It's a little bar before sunset, so we've actually come to the west side. The
west side.
The west side, this is the west side. To see what we can get. But then for sunset, we might try and pop over to the other side, so that'll be the east side, and then that'll be pointing towards the sun. So hopefully we'll get some images there as well. So one of the things that this place is really well known for is just how rough the water gets here, and you do have to be really careful if you do come here. I'm having to keep half an eye all the time on what the water's doing, because every now and again I have to grab the camera and run back up the beach. But what I'm trying to do is try to capture some of that kind of ferociousness of the water in the image. So I could have gone for a long exposure here, but what I've decided to do is opt for a faster shutter speed. And I've actually got the camera set so it'll do a high-speed, continuous shooting. And basically I'm waiting for waves to come in and crash over those rocks. And then I'm firing off the shutter as they crash over the rocks, so I can try and capture that motion in those waves. We've now popped over to the other side of the headland to where we were earlier, so we're now on the same side as the town Vík itself. And the reason we popped over this side is that we're hoping that this is going to be in the right sort of direction for catching the light for the sunset. So the sun sets in sort of that direction. If you can see the stacks behind us there. So yeah, we're hoping we might get better light this side for actually taking this image. I think this might be a chance for getting the 10-stop filter out as well, so we might see how that works out. So I'm having a bit of a struggle here. Basically, we've got a lot of drizzle coming in and a lot of probably seawater spraying off the sea as well, so I'm having to keep the filters clean. But what I'm doing is I've got the 10-stop was just giving too long an exposure, so I've actually got the free stop ND filter on there, as well as the polarizer, and that's actually giving me, I think, quite a nice long exposure look. Yeah, I'm just trying to catch it as the waves sort of come in and then as the water starts to recede again. So at the moment we've got, if I bring it back up again, yeah, we've got an exposure time of 6 seconds with the ND free stop, and I think that's about right. But it's just waiting for the right moment when the waves come in and then hitting the shutter release, and then yeah, hopefully it'll just be long enough to catch that sort of line of water going back down the sand again. But yeah, we've also got some interesting colours in the sky as well, so I think these will work both as black and white and colour. What a way this is to end our last evening in Iceland. I couldn't have planned this. We've got the moon out just by the sea stacks off Vík, and it's making for a really lovely image. I've had a real battle, as you can probably see the camera's sort of misting up a bit. Had a real battle with rain and drizzle and waves coming in. But I think it's worth it. This image, I'm really pleased with it. Tomorrow morning, we've got a little bit of time before our flight, so hopefully we'll be able to go and photograph Skogafoss. But yeah, anyway, that's enough for this evening, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow morning. It's our last morning in Iceland, and I figure we've just got time for another couple of photos before we go. So as you can see behind me, I'm currently at Skogafoss waterfall, which is one of Iceland's most iconic waterfalls. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just this wall of water falling down. It's absolutely amazing. The light levels are still quite low. I got up quite early this morning. Hannah's still in bed, in case you're wondering where she's gone. Very sensible. But I couldn't resist just getting up and coming down here and trying to get a few images. Because the light is so low, my exposure time at the moment is still around sort of 25 to 30 seconds. And I managed to take a couple of images. I was over there by the river just earlier on, but I've just moved on to let some other guys go and take some photos there as well. But I had a composition there which I really liked, where there was you had the stream creating a bit of a curving leading line up towards the waterfall itself, and then there was a nice rock sat in the edge of the stream as well, so I was liking the way that was sitting in the composition. So I got a couple of images there. What I'm going to do now is just wait for the light to increase slightly, because what I'd like to do is maybe take a few images with a faster shutter speed, so that the water doesn't appear quite so blurred out, because I quite like that with waterfalls. I like it when you kind of freeze the water in motion, and it just adds a bit more interest to the water rather than it just being that kind of marshmallowy mush that you get with a waterfall. So I'm going to hang around for a second now, and we'll see if we can get some more images. So that's it from us from Iceland. It's time for me to get back to the hotel. I need to go and find out what's happened to Hannah. We need to get packed and head to the airport. I hope you've enjoyed these last few videos from here. This place has absolutely blown our minds. We were expecting Iceland to be amazing. I don't think we'd quite prepared ourselves for just how amazing this place is. It's utterly stunning. So anyway, if you did enjoy this video, then please do consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then please also consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Take care.